China is astonishing the world with futuristic mega projects that seem straight out of a science fiction movie.
Right now, in cities across China, buildings are learning. Not just standing there, learning. AI systems are watching every crack, predicting failures before they happen, and making decisions without humans involved. Western engineers are calling emergency meetings, because what China just activated in their skyscrapers isn't just technology. It's something that changes everything we thought we knew about cities, and it's spreading faster than anyone expected. Last week, Shanghai Tower adjusted its own structural support without telling anyone. The building felt wind patterns changing, calculated stress points, shifted weight distribution, all on its own. Engineers only found out when they checked the logs. This isn't one building. It's 47 skyscrapers across 6 cities, each one running AI systems that monitor thousands of sensors every second. Temperature, movement, stress, vibration, air quality, power consumption. They're processing more data in an hour than a human engineer could analyze in a year. Here's what makes this different from smart buildings in New York or London. Western buildings have automation. China's buildings have intelligence. They learn patterns, predict problems, make decisions. The difference, Western systems follow rules programmed by humans. Chinese systems write their own rules. A smart building in Manhattan will turn off lights when rooms are empty. That's automation. An AI building in Shenzhen noticed that typhoon wind patterns 3 days out correlated with micro vibrations in its foundation, so it started reinforcing structural joints 72 hours before storms hit. Nobody programmed that behavior. The system taught itself. And that's just what's happening inside individual buildings. Wait until you see what happens when they start coordinating with each other. Remember that Beijing tower built by a self-climbing machine? The one that poured concrete and moved itself up floor by floor? That wasn't just about speed. Every sensor, every cable, every structural element was being mapped in real time as it rose. China embedded over 10,000 sensors into that single structure during construction. Fiber optics in the concrete, strain gauges in the steel, accelerometers on every floor, temperature monitors in every wall. They weren't building a skyscraper, they were building a nervous system. Then they did it again and again. Shanghai Tower has 15,000 sensors. Ping An Finance Center has 12,000. Even the buildings constructed in 15 days using prefab modules came pre-wired with monitoring systems built into every panel at the factory. That modular construction system that seems so impressive for speed, it had a hidden advantage. Every module was manufactured with standardized sensor arrays. Plug-and-play intelligence. Stack the modules and the building's brain comes online automatically. Western experts just figured this out 6 months ago. While everyone was focused on construction speed and sustainability features, China was installing the largest building monitoring network ever created. They've been collecting data for 8 years. 8 years of wind patterns, earthquake tremors, temperature fluctuations, structural stress, human movement patterns, energy consumption, all feeding into centralized AI systems. That's 47 buildings generating 2.3 petabytes of data every single day. But here's the thing that kept Western engineers up at night when they discovered it. These sensors aren't just collecting data, they're communicating with something. Shanghai Tower's 270 wind turbines used to be managed by human operators. They check weather forecast, adjust blade angles, monitor output, standard stuff. Then in 2023, China activated something called the Structural Intelligence Protocol. Within 3 months, energy output increased 34%. Not because they installed more turbines, because the AI learned to predict micro-weather patterns that meteorologists miss. It detects air pressure changes 20 minutes before wind shifts, adjusts turbine angles in advance, positions them for maximum efficiency before the wind even arrives. Engineers tested it. They gave the AI false weather data to see what would happen. The system ignored them. It trusted its own sensors over official forecasts, and it was right. Pearl River Tower has those 4 massive openings that funnel wind through turbines. The AI there does something engineers didn't expect. It learned to coordinate with nearby buildings. When wind approaches from the east, Pearl River Tower's system communicates with 3 adjacent skyscrapers. They adjust their facade panels to redirect airflow, channeling more wind into Pearl River's turbines. Nobody programmed inter-building coordination. The system developed it on its own because it made energy production more efficient. Ping An Finance Center takes this further. Its AI monitors 8,000 structural points continuously. Last year, it detected a microfracture in a support column on the 67th floor. The crack was 0.3 millimeters wide, invisible to human inspectors. The AI caught it by noticing a vibration frequency change of 0.02 hertz. It automatically rerouted building loads away from that column, filed a maintenance request, and scheduled elevator shutdowns to give repair crews access. The entire process happened in 11 minutes, before any human even knew there was a problem. Traditional building management would have taken 3 weeks to identify that issue through scheduled inspections. By then, the crack could have propagated into something dangerous. But individual building AI was just phase 1. Phase 2 connects them together into something nobody saw coming. May 2024, a heat wave hit Shenzhen. Power demand spiked across the city. Grid operators were preparing for rolling blackouts. Then, something unexpected happened. 17 skyscrapers in the financial district started coordinating their energy consumption without human input. CTF Finance Center reduced its elevator operations by 40%, slowing cars and combining trips. Ping An Finance Center dimmed lighting in unoccupied floors. 3 residential towers adjusted air conditioning in empty units. The buildings were talking to each other through the city's power grid, detecting strain, self-organizing to reduce demand. They prevented the blackout on their own. Grid operators didn't tell them to do this. They found out when they analyzed the data later and saw the coordinated response pattern. The AI systems had identified a grid stability threat and solved it faster than humans could react. This is what Western engineers mean when they say the network effect. It's not about individual smart buildings anymore. China has created an urban-scale artificial intelligence system. Buildings share data through fiber optic connections, power lines, and dedicated wireless networks. Beijing runs a centralized AI hub that processes inputs from 23 buildings simultaneously. Each structure feeds real-time data about structural health, energy usage, occupancy patterns, and environmental conditions. The central system identifies patterns across all of them. When one building detects unusual vibrations that might indicate seismic activity, it alerts others. They all increase monitoring sensitivity. If the pattern matches pre-earthquake signatures in the historical data, they automatically activate safety protocols, elevator shutdowns, door releases, emergency lighting. Traditional earthquake warning systems give 10 to 30 seconds of notice. This network has detected tremor precursors up to 6 minutes in advance. 6 minutes is enough time to evacuate ground floors and secure critical systems. Remember the CCTV building? The one where they had to connect 2 towers at exactly the right temperature? That precision was just a preview. Now, those towers share thermal data continuously. When one side heats up from sun exposure, both structures adjust their climate systems to prevent differential expansion. But in November 2024, engineers monitoring the system noticed something in the logs that nobody programmed. The AI had started running simulations, testing scenarios that hadn't happened yet. And then, engineers noticed something they didn't program. The simulations were running at 3 a.m. Building energy systems were quiet, minimal occupancy. But the AI wasn't resting. It was testing theoretical scenarios. What if wind speeds exceeded historical records? What if multiple support columns failed simultaneously? What if seismic activity combined with high winds? Engineers call this emergent behavior, when AI systems develop capabilities beyond their original programming. Nobody taught these buildings to run disaster simulations. They learned that stress testing made their responses more effective. Shanghai Tower's AI started flagging maintenance issues before they occurred, not based on scheduled inspection intervals, based on pattern recognition from 8 years of sensor data. It learned that certain vibration signatures appeared 40 days before mechanical failures. Temperature fluctuations preceded electrical issues by 3 weeks. Prediction accuracy started at 67%. Within 2 years, it reached 91%. The system was identifying problems that traditional maintenance schedules would miss completely. But the real shock came in October 2024. Guangzhou's Pearl River Tower AI detected a pattern in the ground vibrations that matched pre-earthquake signatures. It triggered building-wide alerts. Elevators returned to ground floors, emergency systems activated. No earthquake happened. Seismologists checked their instruments. Nothing registered. building sensors showed the signatures disappeared after 20 minutes. 3 weeks later, a minor earthquake hit 200 kilometers away. Seismologists analyzed the data backward. Those vibrations the AI detected, they were real. P waves from tectonic stress building in a fault system, too subtle for traditional instruments to classify as earthquake precursors. The AI had detected an earthquake that hadn't happened yet, not through seismology, through pattern recognition in vibration data that humans didn't know was significant. Earthquake prediction is considered impossible by modern science. Yet somehow, an AI designed to manage building systems stumbled into doing exactly that. And that's when 3 countries quietly requested access to this technology. The system started predicting things it shouldn't be able to predict. Remember those prefabricated modules that built a 30-story hotel in 15 days? China's military noticed. If you can build a hotel that fast, you can build a command center, a barracks, an airfield control tower, entire forward operating bases in under 3 weeks. Traditional military construction takes months. Concrete needs to cure, systems need installation and testing, but prefab modules with integrated AI sensors, they arrive ready to operate. Stack them, connect power, and the structure is mission capable immediately. Add AI management and these bases become self-monitoring. Structural surveillance detecting intrusions through vibration sensors. Climate control that adjusts for chemical or biological threats. Power systems that autonomously reroute during attacks. Western analysts noticed something interesting about China's South China Sea installations. Construction speed increased dramatically in 2023. Buildings rose from artificial islands in record time, and every structure showed signs of extensive sensor integration. That rapid construction technology combined with AI creates strategic capabilities that don't exist anywhere else. You can't bomb infrastructure that gets rebuilt in 2 weeks. You can't sabotage systems that automatically detect and route around damage. Pakistan requested this technology in 2023 for border installations. Rejected. UAE wanted it for critical infrastructure protection. Rejected. Indonesia asked for smart building systems for earthquake-prone regions. Also rejected. China isn't sharing. Not with allies, not with strategic partners, not with anyone. The technology stays domestic, controlled, exclusive. Because what Western intelligence agencies figured out is that these aren't just buildings anymore. They're distributed intelligence networks with applications far beyond energy management and earthquake detection. 3 countries have already requested this technology. China said no to all of them. But the real disruption isn't military, it's economic, and it's already started. Western construction companies are facing a problem they can't solve. Their fastest skyscraper projects take 4 to 6 years from groundbreaking to occupancy. China's doing it in 18 months with better energy efficiency, lower maintenance costs, and AI management that reduces operational expenses by 30%. That's not a competition, that's obsolescence. Those elevators moving at 69 feet per second, they don't need human operators anymore. AI systems monitor passenger loads, predict traffic patterns, optimize routing. One building in Shenzhen eliminated 12 elevator operator positions and reduced wait times by 40% simultaneously. Maintenance crews, climate control technicians, energy managers, security monitors, every role that involves watching systems and responding to problems, the AI does it faster and more accurately. But the bigger disruption is in international construction markets. Developing nations need infrastructure, fast, affordable, reliable. China offers turnkey solutions, prefab buildings with integrated AI, complete urban districts in under a year. Kenya signed a deal in 2024 for 3 smart buildings in Nairobi. Philippines is negotiating for an entire business district in Manila. Vietnam wants AI-managed residential towers in Ho Chi Minh City. Western companies can't compete on speed or price. They're losing bids to Chinese contractors offering buildings that construct themselves and manage themselves. And here's what makes this particularly problematic for Western economies. It's not just construction jobs, it's the entire supply chain. Steel, glass, sensors, software, power systems. Everything gets manufactured in China, shipped as complete modules, and assembled on-site by minimal crews. The only local jobs are concrete foundations and utility connections. Everything else happens in Chinese factories. The economic value stays in China. Real estate developers worldwide are watching this. Every year of construction delay costs millions in financing and lost rental income. Buildings that reach occupancy in 18 months instead of 5 years? That's a massive competitive advantage. But the real question isn't about economics or military strategy. It's about what happens when you live inside these buildings, when AI systems know everything about your daily patterns, when buildings start knowing things about you. Chen Wei lives on the 84th floor of Shanghai Tower. Been there 3 years. Last month, his building started adjusting his apartment temperature before he arrived home from work. He never programmed the schedule. The AI learned his patterns. It knows when he leaves for work, when he returns, which rooms he uses at what times. It preheats his bathroom in winter mornings, cools his bedroom 20 minutes before he typically goes to sleep. Sounds convenient, maybe even nice, but Chen noticed something else. The building knows when he's not alone, when he has guests. The climate adjusts for multiple people. His energy allocation changes. His elevator priority shifts. The AI isn't just tracking temperature and lights, it's learning human behavior patterns across 20,000 residents. Sleep schedules, social patterns, daily routines, health indicators based on... A resident survey in 2024 found that 73% of people in AI-managed buildings feel observed, not by cameras, by the building itself. Knowing when they're home, when they're awake, when they have visitors, when their habits change. And all that data feeds back into the central AI system, building a profile of every resident, learning correlations between behavior patterns and maintenance needs, energy consumption, even predicting lease renewals based on usage changes. Western privacy laws would never allow this level of monitoring. Europe's GDPR, California's privacy regulations, they all restrict data collection from residential buildings. But in China, the data belongs to the building operator, not the resident. Medical privacy doesn't extend to smart building sensors that detect your movement patterns. Financial privacy doesn't cover energy usage that reveals when you're traveling or working from home. Residents started noticing the building knows things about them that feel invasive, yet perfectly legal. And Western governments are watching this closely because they face a choice. New York tried this in 2023. They selected 5 buildings in Manhattan for AI management pilot programs, installed sensors, deployed monitoring systems, activated basic predictive maintenance. Within 6 months, 3 of the 5 programs shut down. Tenant lawsuits over privacy, union disputes about job displacement, regulatory challenges from multiple city agencies. The 2 remaining programs are running at 30% of their intended capability. Western cities faced similar problems. Berlin canceled their program before deployment. Every Western city attempting this hits the same barriers. Private building ownership means every property needs individual permission. Historical preservation rules prevent sensor installation in older structures. Labor regulations protect jobs that AI would eliminate. But the real problem is infrastructure age. Western cities have buildings from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. Retrofitting them with thousands of sensors? Structurally complex and prohibitively expensive. You'd need to tear into walls, floors, support structures. Many buildings couldn't handle the modification without major renovations. China built most of its skyscrapers after 2000. They were designed with this technology in mind from the beginning. Every new structure includes sensor integration as standard. Western cities can't replicate that without demolishing and rebuilding entire urban districts. The technology gap isn't just about AI capability. It's about having the physical infrastructure that AI needs to function. And closing that gap would take decades and trillions in investment. Meanwhile, China adds 50 more AI-integrated buildings every year. The gap widens continuously. Then in December 2024, China's State Construction Bureau made an announcement that changed everything experts thought they knew about where this was heading. And China just announced Phase 3, Phoenix Towers, the project everyone thought was dead. China just announced construction begins in 2026, but the designs changed significantly. The original plan was massive, 2 towers reaching 2,300 feet, tallest buildings in the world. But the new design isn't about height anymore, it's about integration. Every structural element will be 3D printed with integrated sensors, not installed afterward, built into the material itself during fabrication. concrete with embedded fiber optics, steel with strain gauges printed directly into the molecular structure, glass panels with sensors in the substrate layer. Phoenix Towers will have 50,000 sensors per building, 5 times the density of Shanghai Tower. And they won't just monitor, they'll respond. The concrete itself will detect stress and signal needed reinforcements. Steel will identify fatigue before cracks form. But here's what makes this genuinely different. The AI system won't be added after construction. It'll be designed simultaneously with the architecture. Buildings where the intelligence is intrinsic to the structure itself, not a management system, not a monitoring network. Intelligence built into the foundation. 3 Chinese universities are developing what they call cognitive materials, building components that sense, process, and respond without centralized computer systems. Distributed intelligence embedded in every structural element. And they're not stopping with buildings. Shanghai announced plans for an entire district of AI-native structures, 40 buildings designed from the beginning to operate as a unified system. Shared power grids, coordinated climate control, collective structural monitoring, an artificial urban intelligence covering 15 square kilometers, making decisions about resource allocation, emergency response, infrastructure maintenance across an entire section of the city. Construction starts in 2027, completion projected for 2031. Western urban planners are calling this impossible, too complex, too expensive, too many integration challenges. They said the same thing about building a 30-story hotel in 15 days. The question isn't whether China can build this. They've already demonstrated the capability. The question is what happens when they do, when buildings don't just learn anymore, when they're born knowing. Because 3 weeks ago, sensors in Shenzhen detected something the AI system flagged as priority urgent, vibration patterns that don't match any known